Us here. The Ravens have been awfully busy with what they did last night and what they do now this morning.
Well, listen, they actually had conversations with Trey Hendrickson about teaming him with Max Crosby. And when the conversation first started, Trey Hendrickson was of the mind that he would be in Baltimore if that's the offer that he would wound up taking with Max Crosby. But alas, that didn't happen. Max Crosby was in Baltimore on Tuesday, went through a physical, did not pass the physical. There were images that were sent out to other doctors. Multiple doctors reviewed those images, including the Cowboys team doctor, Dr. Cooper. And in the end, with whatever information they had, the Baltimore Ravens felt like they were uncomfortable moving forward with the physical. Max Crosby had been on crutches until 1 week ago. He had surgery 2 months ago on his meniscus. Dr. Elatrash talked about his meniscus, his cartilage, his bone, and that Max Crosby is on schedule. But the problem is where that is today is not where the Ravens felt like they needed him to be to pass that physical. And so this was the issue. The Ravens didn't feel comfortable moving forward on the deal, considering that it involved 2 first-round draft picks. They voided the deal. Max Crosby goes back to the Raiders. The Raiders are listening to other teams' call, but the plan right now is to at least hold on to him while they listen to offers from other teams.
So Mike Tannenbaum jumps in with us here as well. Mike T, you were a general manager in 2 different places. You obviously were involved in countless trades. This is always a piece of it. So there are people who are going to look at this. I want to make it 1,000% clear that no one on Get Up is suggesting that anyone did anything untoward here. The physicals are always a part of these deals. But there are people who are watching this, and you know what happens on the internet. People start, oh my goodness, they backed out of it because they saw Trey Henderson was going to be cheaper than they thought, or whatever the case may be. Take us through how these processes actually work behind the scenes, how the sausage gets made, Mike T.
Yeah, Greeny. So again, a trade is a contract between Team A and Team B that has to be approved by the league office at 4 o'clock today. Typically, in that trade papers are conditions. The player reports and passes a physical. A physical is very subjective, and some teams will pass, a player, and other teams won't. It's going to candidly happen at the combine every year, where you'll see teams pass on certain players. The most famous example was Drew Brees. He failed the physical of the Miami Dolphins when Nick Saban was the head coach and went on to a Hall of Fame career with the Saints. So with that said, there is another team or two today that could make a trade with the Raiders for Max Crosby. And here's another interesting layer. You can put like different conditions